Coming in the opening in about 20 seconds. Audio, you set?
I think, all right.
All right, stand by camera 2. 2's ready. All right. Ready, come to the opening. Come to the opening.
In 5, 4, 3,
stand by, there's all C, and there's all C.
Live from Shea Stadium in New York, tonight the Mets take on the first place Philadelphia Phillies. Mets baseball 93 is Budweiser, fresh, pure, natural, proud to be your bud. By your Tri-State Toyota dealer, I love what you do for me, Toyota. By Chemical, expect more from us. By Macy's, we're part of your life. By Coca-Cola, always Coca-Cola with the Mets. By AT&T, the official telecommunications broadcast sponsor of the New York Mets. And by your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer. See your Ford dealer. See for yourself. Pitching for the Phillies tonight, left-hander Danny Jackson with a record of 12-10, an earned run average of 3.64. On the mound for the Mets, the veteran left-hander Frank Tanata, 6-15 on the year, an earned run average of 4.47.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another evening of Mets baseball. I'm Tim McCarver, along with Ralph Kiner. And the Mets facing a very, very good Philadelphia Phillies team. Last year finishing in last place, winning only 70 ball games, but they have 88 wins so far this year, Ralph.
And what a turnaround for the Philadelphia Phillies. 88 wins, it's third in the major leagues, and most since 1990 when they won the championship. They lead the National League in runs scored, in hits, and total bases. They also lead the National League in walks and on-base average, which is a very important part of this game. And they have won 14 of their last 17 against the New York Mets.
And they've won 10 of their last 11 here at Shea, 5 in a row. And it's pretty tough when your assignment as a pitcher is to go against a team that has not been shut out in 160 games.
That's a new National League record, and they go against Danny Jackson tonight, a tough left-hander. And the Mets will have a cunning left-hander on the mound, Frank Tanana.
And we'll talk to Jim Fregosi right after this from Budweiser.
This is your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud.
Now appearing, a well-equipped Dodge Shadow for around $9,500. A Spirit, America's lowest priced 6-passenger car, under $12,200. Or own a Caravan, including air at no extra charge, for under $14,600.
Soon, you'll hear it. The best long-distance service is about to get even better. It's a breakthrough from AT&T Bell Labs, and it makes AT&T sound quality dramatically superior to any company. So much clearer, closer, and more natural. Even 8 out of 10 people who don't have AT&T prefer it. AT&T True Voice, coming in the months ahead, free. Just another part of the iPlan.
American Express is about to mail card applications to a very select group, and they asked if I would help. Sure, I said, I'd love to help people avoid paying high interest, but I can't do it alone. Gucci. Coochie, it's your job to lick, stack, and sort. That's good. Yeah, you use the floor. I'll use the desk. No teeth marks. These aren't going out to just anybody. Hey, that's my banana.
Check your mail for an application, and to apply for the card, send it in today.
Don't worry, Coochie and I will be working overtime to make sure every application gets out. That one's on its way.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium. Our special guest, Jim Fregosi, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. And how's it feel to be in first place?
Well, Ralph, it feels great. You know, coming out of spring training, we thought we could compete within our division. We didn't know how well we could do. The club really kind of came together in spring training, and we played well all year. We're 30 games or 32 games over 500, and I've really been proud of this ball club. They have given us an honest effort all year long, and they have really done a great job.
Certainly sort of a maverick-type ball club because it's been put together with ball players from other ball clubs as a general rule.
Well, Ralph, I really call them a ball club of diverse personalities. We have made a lot of trades. We have signed some free agents. I think Lee Thomas and Bill Giles have done a marvelous job to get this ball club competitive. We've got a bunch of guys that want to prove something. They want to prove that they know how to play, and they want to stay in Philadelphia. So it's been a very nice year for us. Now we've just got some little unfinished business to take care of. But, you know, this club, every time their back's been to the wall a little bit, they've come out fighting. So I have no worry about this club.
Jim Fregosi, congratulations on a great season in Philadelphia, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, buddy. Great talking to you.
Jim Fregosi, a great guy. And now this message from your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
If you want to be in a position of power, then get behind the wheel of a 1994 Jeep Grand Cherokee V8 with a powerful 220 horsepower engine, 6,500-pound towing capacity, standard driver's side airbag, and four-wheel anti-lock brakes. It lets you command power in any situation. The Jeep Grand Cherokee V8. The only thing more powerful is the savings.
See your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer.
Hazy sunshine this afternoon. High close to yesterday's 96 downtown.
Those who expect more from a credit card must not settle for less. First, eliminate cards charging the highest rates or not offering fixed or variable rate options. Demand worldwide acceptance, 24-hour customer service, and gold card benefits. And insist upon price assurance, purchase protection, extended warranties, and satisfaction guarantee. So what remains? The Grand Elite Visa Gold Card from Chemical Bank. If you possess one, do use it. If not, call 1-800-342-9900 to apply.
Does it come with cable?
Well.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Lenny Dykstra was a spark plug for the New York Mets, and now he is the same, if not even more, because he's an everyday player for the Philadelphia Phillies, leading the league in runs scored with 131, and the Phillies with 18 games left to play. Their magic number, as a matter of fact, is 14. Any combination of their wins and Montreal's losses, and the Phillies would have the first divisional championship since 1983. On the mound for the Mets, Frank Tanana. He is 6-15 and is that an ever deceiving one-loss record, a 4.47 ERA. He has left 3 games in the hands of the bullpen and has ended up with 3 no decisions in those games. So Frank could be closer to the 500 mark because he has pitched much, much better than 6-15.
And Frank will be pitching against this lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off in center field, Lenny Dykstra. Batting second, the second baseman, Mario Duncan. Batting third at first base, Ricky Jordan, replacing John Kruk for tonight's ball game. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Dave Hollins. Batting fifth, the catcher, Darren Dalton. Batting sixth in left field, Pete Incaviglia. Batting seventh, playing right field, Wes Chamberlain. The eighth batter will be the shortstop, Kevin Stocker. And Danny Jackson will be the pitcher, batting ninth.
The defense for the New York Mets. Darren Jackson, his second start in 2 months in left field. Ryan Thompson, the center fielder, and Dave Gallagher in right field. Chico Walker at third. Kevin Baez, the shortstop this evening. Jeff Kent at second base. Eddie Murray, his 60th straight game at first base, and Charlie O'Brien behind the plate. The umpires for tonight's game: Harry Wendelstedt behind the plate, Randy Marsh at first base, Ed Rapuano at second, and Larry Van Over, a rookie umpire, is at third base. Very popular player and given a hand by the Philly fans that are here. You see some red hats throughout the stadium. Philly fans driving north about 100 miles from the city of brotherly love, and the first pitch of the ball game is fouled back.
Lenny Dykstra leads the league in walks with 117. He can become the first National League player to ever lead a league in walks and also in at-bats. He has 569 at-bats.
Good eye, Lenny.
Fastball is low, a ball and a strike to Lenny Dykstra.
What makes that record so amazing is the fact that the walks don't count as at-bats, so that takes away from his chances to total up on the at-bat.
Fly ball, right field line, close to the fence, and Dave Gallagher makes the catch in foul territory. Nice play by Gallagher, staying with it, one away.
Oh, Gallagher not with an easy play here. It really has to worry about where the outfield fence is, and he catches it right over the top of that area, which is lower than the home run fence. And a good play by Gallagher as Dykstra is turned away.
Mariano Duncan takes a curveball for a strike. Duncan has always been a good hitter against left-handed pitching. He led the majors back in 1990 while with the Cincinnati Reds, a .407 average. 1-1 to Duncan.
Career high in runs batted in for him with that 63.
Line to right field, base hit for Duncan. Duncan some problems as a shortstop with the Los Angeles Dodgers, sent down several times his first 3 years in the majors back in the middle 80s. But he is a good ball player, and there's an example of the success that he's had against left-handed pitching.
That base hit extends his hitting streak to 13 consecutive games.
John Kruk is being given a rest this evening, and Ricky Jordan is starting in his stead, his 20th start of the year. Shea Stadium is not a good hitter's ballpark. Veterans Stadium is, but you would think that the Phillies are playing home games when they hit here at Shea, at least the last couple of years. Breaking ball for a strike to Jordan, who's a .330 hitter here at Shea Stadium. One and one now to Ricky Jordan. Just underway here at Shea Stadium, no score. Good changeup there to Jordan. That was a fastball swing and a changeup. 1-2.
One of the things Tanana does exceptionally well, he changes off his fastball, and also he changes off his curveball.
Ground ball to short. Baez over to Ken. It was not hit hard enough for a double play, but Ken almost turned it anyway. 2 outs.
Good job of making this a close play. Ball actually not hit very hard, as Tim pointed out. Baez makes a good throw to Cantu, makes a good pivot, but Jordan beats it out. The Mets failed to turn 3 balls in yesterday's game that should have been double plays. They got only 1, but here this would have been a very tough double play to get.
Dave Hollins, the third baseman, is the batter. Hollins with a home run against Tanana this year. That was at Veterans Stadium. Frank is 0-1 against the Phillies with 1 no decision, but his first start here at Shea. Inside corner, strike 1 to a fella who is nicknamed Mikey by his teammates. He's the alter ego of Dave Hollins. Dave Hollins goes into this trance about 45 minutes before game time and does not talk to his teammates or anybody. He is some competitor. No score with the Mets coming up. We'll be back after this from Budweiser.
Your world, genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your bud.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I have to see it. If a movie got great reviews, you'd go see it, wouldn't you? If everyone kept talking about a book, you'd probably read it. And if Automobile Magazine called this Toyota Camry the best car built in America, you'd give it a test drive, right? The 1993 Toyota Camry. Everything you've heard is true.
The way you look. The way you live. The way you feel. The way you shop. Macy's.
Performance at a touch. Elegance at a glance. Fisher's new Studio 24, and nobody beats the whiz. Trust your senses.
Danny Jackson, always a tough assignment. He's 12-10 this year, 6-4 lifetime against the Mets.
And he'll be pitching against this lineup for the New York Mets. Ryan Thompson back in action after missing 1 day. He's in center. This is brought to you by your Tri-State Ford dealers. Kevin Baez batting second, the shortstop. Batting third at first base, Eddie Murray. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Dave Gallagher. Batting fifth, Chico Walker, the third baseman. Jeff Kent, the second baseman, batting sixth. Darren Jackson in left field, batting seventh. Charlie O'Brien, the catcher, batting eighth. Frank Tanana, the pitcher, batting ninth.
On the first pitch, Ryan Thompson to shortstop Kevin Stocker, and it's dug out by Jordan. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the first inning of a scoreless game. Oh, what a job the young shortstop Kevin Stocker has done, and he is surrounded by other defensive players, obviously. Pete Incaviglia at left field, Lynn Dykstra in center, Wes Chamberlain in right, Dave Hollins at third, Stocker at short, Duncan at second, and Ricky Jordan at first, and Darren Dalton behind the plate. 1 ball, no strikes to Kevin Baez, who has moved into the 2 spot this evening. Mets shut out by the Phillies last night. Matter of fact, Danny Jackson's only shutout since August of 1988 was against the Phillies. Was against the Mets, I beg your pardon. Fly ball to center. Dykstra near the track. Baez giving that a boost. 2 outs. Eddie Murray now the batter. Eddie, a .277 batter with 25 home runs on the year. His 89 RBIs, 7th in the National League. Strike 1 to Murray. Outside, ball 1, 1-1. Murray very familiar with Danny Jackson. Murray with the Orioles when Danny Jackson was with the Kansas City Royals back in the mid-80s. Slider misses. Ball 2. 2-1 now to Eddie Murray. Another slider. 2-2 now to Murray. The Phillies facing Murray when they want to face Murray with 2 outs and nobody on.
He's 17th in the all-time RBI list with 1,651 runs batted in. 1 behind Tony Perez.
This one hit to left center and playable as Encavilla comes in to make the catch. The Mets go in order in the first. No score. We go to the second after this from Sharp.
You've never seen a camcorder like the Sharp View Cam. The viewfinder gone. Replaced with this LCD view screen. You're right in the action. Gretzky scores? Let's go to the replay. Then play it back instantly with color and sound. Want to see that again?
The Sharp View Cam, an absolute original.
So your first goal, Ty, and birthdays, graduations, your wedding, your kids, my grandchildren.
We've just lowered the monthly payments on the 1993 Chevy Lumina to fit your family budget.
Sure could use a car this big.
Can we afford it?
It says here it's just $199 a month and only $17.75 down.
It's even got air, automatic, power locks.
No more being squashed by the baby seat.
Room for the stroller and the playpen.
We need the V6.
We need the stereo.
At $199 a month, it's time for a change.
Oh, right.
And speaking of something that needs changing.
See your local Chevy Geo dealer for a great deal while they last.
Why do you get great service from a MetLife rep? He's got terrific follow-through, answering tough questions. He's fast when it comes to paying claims. He's got lots of drive and power. And he makes neat saves when the going gets rough. It all adds up to Advantage, MetLife. Get Met. It pays.
I'm Brenda Blackman. Campaign 93 is underway. It's primary day. Voters are picking candidates to run for mayor, comptroller, and public advocate. We will have complete live coverage and update you on election results. Join us tonight on Channel 9 News after the minute.
That's a lovely evening. Shirt sleeve weather, but that young man appears to be a little chilly. About 65 degrees now as Darren Dalton takes a strike from Frank Tanana. Every game obviously vital for the Phillies. The Montreal Expos have won 18 out of their last 20 games. The Expos were 14.5 back on August the 20th. So they have gained 9 games on the Phillies in about 3 weeks. This one hit hard to left center. Jackson is over and makes the catch. Fine play by Darren Jackson. 1 out. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under television rights granted by Sterling Doubleday Enterprises LP, solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Sterling Doubleday Enterprises LP and WWOR TV is prohibited. Any commercial program, such as by charging admission for its showing, likewise prohibited. Pete Incaviglia, the batter. Curve in there. What a remarkable year Incaviglia has had. 87 RBIs with 340 at bats. Pete Incaviglia, 95 hits, 87 ribbies. Talk about mileage. 1-1. Change and a beauty there. Ball and 2 strikes now to Inky.
Their left field platoon of Pete Incaviglia and Milt Thompson have combined for 27 home runs and 116 RBIs.
Fly ball, right field. So Incaviglia, who had 2 home runs in a game against Tanana earlier in the year, he's 2 for 5 against Frank this year. Both home runs. Flies to right, 2 outs, and Wes Chamberlain, the right fielder, coming up. Phillies with great offensive balance. They can left-right you to pieces. Inside, ball 1. We will keep you apprised of the Montreal-St. Louis game. That will start in about 30 minutes in St. Louis. Changeup is low, ball 2. 2-0 now to Chamberlain.
St. Louis coming back a bit. They won 4 in a row. They're now 8.5 games back.
Two left-handers, Reuter and Watson. Reuter for the Expos, Watson for the Cardinals. Reuter is 7-0, and it's 3-0 to Wes Chamberlain, who will in all probability be hitting here. Strike 1 to Wes Chamberlain.
Phillies go from here to play Montreal, and that'll be a big 3-game series in Montreal. And Jim Fracosi says he's not changing his pitching rotation. He's going just the way it's been.
Why change it? If you change it, then what you do is you sound the alarm to the club. That's one of the criticisms of Gene Mock back in 1964. Going with Bunning and Short. Jim Bunning and Chris Short, for the most part, over the last 8 or 9 days. Dennis Bennett was one of their starters that year. Jack Balshin in the bullpen. And obviously, if the Phillies lose tonight and Montreal wins, there will be further comparison to that 1964 season as the shortstop Kevin Stocker fouls it back. Strike 1.
Stocker had surprised everybody. He came up from Scranton Wilkes-Barre, where he was hitting .233 with just 3 home runs. He's been tearing the leg up with the bat.
He is jammed and fouls it away. 0-2.
Matter of fact, in his minor league playing days, he hit .220 in his first year. He hit .283 at Clearwater in his second year in the low minors. And last year, or actually this year, he was hitting .233 when he was brought up in 83 games.
Pretty big sample, too, in the big leagues. 196 at-bats coming into tonight's game.
That's really the way it happens when you're a first-place ball club. The people you bring into action have career years.
Of course, in Stocker's case, there's nothing to compare it with.
Not in the major leagues, but even his minor league stats are low. They thought he was going to be a fine defensive shortstop. They didn't think he'd hit.
Jim Fregosi says of Stocker that he knows things that can't be taught. Great instincts. Grounded foul. The things you have to tell him, you tell him one time, and he picks it up. Snap of the fingers. Still 0-2 now to Kevin Stocker. You're watching Mets Baseball 93 on Channel 9, WWOR TV, Secaucus, New Jersey. With Ralph Kiner, I'm Tim McCarver. Season winding down for the Mets, and it has been a horrible season, as everyone knows, and just the opposite for the Phillies. 88 wins coming into tonight's game with 18 games left to play, including this evening. Inside corner, Stocker's out of there. First strikeout for Tanana. No score. We're back after this from your local Dodge dealer.
Now appearing, a well-equipped Dodge Shadow for around $9,500. A Spirit, America's lowest priced 6-passenger car, under $12,200. Or own a Caravan, including air at no extra charge, for under $14,600.
I can take your badge right now for initiating an illegal investigation.
I'm trying to solve a murder here!
Hit the water. Feel the pressure. And brace for impact. Because these two cops are about to make waves. Bruce Willis, Sarah Jessica Parker. Striking Distance. Rated R. At theaters September 17th.
Dear Midas, as a woman, I often feel mechanics don't bother to talk to me.
You wouldn't understand.
But at Midas, I was treated with courtesy.
I'm Brett Foster. How can I help you?
And when I explained that I needed my car but did not have a lot of money, your inspection report was explained to me.
This shows you the repair options you can choose from.
Thanks for treating me as a person capable of understanding my car. Jane Robinson.
Seinfeld's Jason Alexander and actress Annie Potts on the next Arsenio.
Dave Gallagher leads it off here in the bottom of the second inning. Batting .284 with 5 home runs. And has had only 3 starts since August 15th because the Mets have faced 25 right-handers since that time.
That's really amazing because the Mets' record against left-handed starters is very poor.
Slider from Danny Jackson is low. Ball 1 to Gallagher.
Mets against left-handed starters 9-32 this year. But it so happens the Mets were playing a bunch of teams that had basically right-handed starters as their pitching rotation.
1-1 now to Gallagher. John Kruk sitting out of tonight's game. He has that injured knee that has hobbled him since the All-Star break. He injured it, as a matter of fact, first series that the Phillies played here at Chase Stadium. Back on June 11th, 12th, and 13th. 3 balls and a strike now to Gallagher.
Phillies have 3 players in their lineup when they play Kruk at first base that have had over 100 walks. Dalton, Dykstra, and Kruk.
Those 3. Of the first 4 that are leading the National League in walks, the Phillies have 3 in the top 4. Dykstra's first, Dalton's third, John Kruk is fourth. Only Barry Bonds interferes with the Phillies being the top 3. Bonds with 109 walks on the year. Well, Dave Gallagher walks to lead off the second for the Mets, and Chico Walker is the batter. Ground ball, left side, base hit, Walker. Gallagher will stop at second. The Mets with 2 on and nobody out here in the second inning.
Walker with one of the 4 hits in last night's ball game, and now coming up with a base hit as a right-hand batter.
Mets threatening here in the second inning. 2 on, nobody out, a scoreless ball game, and Jeff Kent the batter. Jeff Kent has certainly been the most inspirational story for New York this year. In a year of dull performances, his performance has certainly should give heart to a lot of the younger players on the Mets. I mean, here's a guy after the first 2 months of the season. Mets were thinking about sending him down. And he changed that in a hurry. Another strike, 0-2 now to Jeff Kent.
He's hit more home runs as a Mets second baseman than anybody in their history. He has 18, and he also has driven in more runs than any other Mets second baseman with his 65.
Hit deep to center field. Back is Dykstra near the wall, and Dykstra makes the catch. Walker, Gallagher tag, both advance. So the Mets with runners at second and third and 1 out as Kent barely misses a home run.
Good base running by Chico Walker. Also by Gallagher. Gallagher did it correctly. He was off the bag when he saw the ball was going to be caught. He came back to the bag, got over to third, but no problem. Dykstra makes a good play on it. But Walker, seeing that Gallagher was tagging up and going over to third base, tags up at first and goes down to second. So that's a productive out right there, moving 2 base runners.
With only 1 out, and Darren Jackson the batter, and he lifts one to right field. This will score a run. Gallagher scores. Walker will go to third. 1-0 Mets.
Oh, proper base running set up the Mets for the first run of the ball game. Their first run in this series against the Phillies. They were shut out last night. Only the 4th time they've been shut out this year. And Jackson picks up a 6-run batted in on a sac fly.
I would not pitch to Charlie O'Brien here, and the reason is the Mets have a very weak lineup. And anytime they have the pitcher coming up with 2 outs, regardless of the innings, I think you got to walk the 8th place hitter and pitch to the pitcher. Charlie O'Brien, a .280 hitter against left-handers this year. So that .220 average deceptive. Tanana on deck with 2 outs. You don't even think about pitching around O'Brien here because Dalton has a tough time blocking pitches.
Got that bad knee, has a tough time getting down.
0-2 now to Charlie O'Brien. Atlanta 2-0 over Cincinnati. Fred McGriff a 2-run double in the bottom of the first. They lead the Giants by a game and a half. Almost hit O'Brien. Ball and 2 strikes to Charlie O'Brien.
Well, fastball in tight. And O'Brien has to shuffle out of the way as he does get out of the way. Actually, I'd rather have him hitting here than getting hit by a pitch and having the pitcher come up.
Ooh, he was on that one. He was on the 0-1 pitch. But it's still a ball and 2 strikes to O'Brien. Inside, ball 2, 2-2 to O'Brien. 1-0 New York. Sacrifice fly by Darren Jackson, his 6th RBI with the Mets. The only run in the ball game. Ground ball to shortstop. Kevin Stocker up with it to Ricky Jordan at first, but the Mets take the lead. 1 run on 1 hit. They strand 1, and after 2 it's 1-0. We're back after this from Anheuser-Busch.
It's only natural that children look to their parents for answers. So to help you explain why some things that may be fine for adults aren't right for children, Anheuser-Busch offers Family Talk, free advice from professionals to use with your kids while they're still learning to be grown up. And their favorite teacher is you. Let's stop underage drinking before it starts.
Hi, this has to be in LA tomorrow.
No problem, sir.
With express mail from the Postal Service, you're never left in the dark.
Yes, your package is in LA and will be delivered.
Morning.
From just $9.95, we track, we trace, we deliver for you.
Don't you have anything to fit me?
No offense, Mr. Jones, but you are a little on the small side.
I need more choices.
Harry, give me those genuine yellow pages. Look, choices. Italian, Greek, Chinese. You want more?
Those are restaurants.
That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see us.
9 out of 10 use it.
Mr. Matterhorn.
The genuine New Jersey Bell yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Are you losing weight?
The Apple Macintosh Performa, the family personal computer built just for you. And nobody beats the whiz.
1-0 Mets here in the top of the 3rd inning. Every game for the Phillies is so vital. And about the only fun that the Mets are going to have for the rest of the year is to try to knock off a team like the Phillies or the Atlanta Braves that they play this weekend at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. 0-2 now to Danny Jackson. Curveball outside. Ball 1. 1-2 now to Danny. Frank Tanana in his 21st year. He went too far. So Jackson is out of there. 2nd strikeout for Tanana. And the leadoff batter, Lenny Dykstra, coming up.
And fans today, Toyota salutes Mr. Moises Perez of New York, New York, for his work with this multi-service, comprehensive, community-based organization for youth and their families. They provide drug treatment, sports recreation, employment training, and dropout prevention. For his work, Mr. Perez was our guest at Shea Stadium, had a chance to meet Eric Hillman.
Eric Hillman, the starter in tomorrow night's game. He'll be going against Kurt Schilling as Dykstra takes a strike. Dykstra flying to Dave Gallagher in foul territory his first time up. Ball 1-1-1. Change to a left-hander. You don't see that often. A lot of left-handed pitchers won't throw that pitch to a left-handed batter because of that fear of throwing it down and in. Curve is low. Ball 3. 3-1 to Dykstra. '92, the car accident. The broken wrist in '91. Fly ball left field. In is Jackson, and he can't get to it. The ball bounds off his glove, and a ball that should have been caught, probably because Jackson was too deep to begin with. That's why he didn't catch it, and Dykstra has what will be scored as a double.
Well, Jackson was playing at deep left field against the left-hand batter, Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra's power is when he pulls the ball. He doesn't have exceptional power the other way, and he comes up with a two-base hit because of the defensive alignment. Dykstra gets his 39th double.
Dykstra at second with one out. Duncan the batter. Dykstra a threat to run. And the curve's in there. Duncan singled his first at bat. Inside corner, strike 2. 0-2 now to Mariano Duncan. Tanana steps off. 1-0 Mets here in the third. Montreal failed to score in the top of the first. St. Louis batting. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Fly ball left center field. Dykstra is off about 10 feet. Now he's back to second. Not going anywhere with Thompson's relatively strong throwing arm. There are now 2 outs and Ricky Jordan coming up. Jordan grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up, with Baez going to Kent, covering at second base. Deep to left field. Jordan looking for the fastball in. He got it and homers, and the Phillies take the lead. He guessed in the zone and put it in the zone. 2-1 Philadelphia.
Well, Jordan has a .330 batting average here at Shea Stadium. And again, he enjoys playing here in this ballpark.
Swing and a miss by Dave Hollins, 0-1. Jordan filling in for John Kruk, and has already paid dividends.
It's only his 5th home run of the year, but it comes in a very opportune time.
Hollins hammers one foul. It's 0-2 to Dave Hollins. That's home run number 26 given up by Tanana this year, and that leads the Mets. High, ball 1, 1-2. There's Ricky Jordan with the guy he's replacing tonight, John Kruk. Where he went up there and looked for one pitch and one pitch only, a pitch he could pull, and he didn't miss it. Murray over near the stands, but it's back out of play. Still 1-2 to Dave Hollins. Outside, 2-2. Talking to John Vukovich, one of the coaches of the Phillies. Jim Fragosi's right-hand man is the bench coach. And John said, there's John. 2-2 pitch hammered foul. Still 2-2. And John said a reporter asked him the other day if he was watching the scoreboard now. He said, of course I'm watching the scoreboard now. Said, I've watched the scoreboard for 144 games this year. Why should I not watch the scoreboard in game number 145? And that's what John sees up there. Montreal failing to score in the first. Hollins is down on strikes, but the Phillies take the lead on a 2-run homer by Ricky Jordan. We'll be back after this from Isuzu.
Okay, pull away from the curb and take a left at the end of the block.
Yes, sir.
Is this a new trooper?
Yes, sir. It's my mom's.
Tell you what, take a right instead.
Yes, sir.
If ever there was an excuse for driving a little bit out of your way, this is it.
Very nice.
Wait, I didn't get to parallel park.
You're right.
The Isuzu Trooper. Practically amazing.
Very nice.
For home theater sound that will envelop you. For music that'll get you up on your feet. Yamaha and nobody beats the Wiz. Home entertainment totally in a class of its own.
Fans, join us tomorrow for Nobody Beats the Wiz photo album night. All fans attending the 7:40 p.m. game against the Phillies will receive a full-color photo album featuring all the Mets players and coaches, courtesy of Nobody Beats the Wiz and Fujifilm. For all ticket sales and schedule information or to charge tickets by phone, call the Mets ticket office at 718-507-TIXX during business hours. A per-ticket surcharge applies.
And also, folks, it's time to come out and let the Mets show you how much they have appreciated everything you have done and your support all season long on Fan Appreciation Day. That'll be coming up on Sunday, September 26th. All kids 14 and under in attendance will receive a radio. That's right, a real radio that works, courtesy of Tropicana. Plus, tickets will be drawn throughout the game for great prizes, including round-trip tickets from TWA, a Nissan Sentra from Copel Nissan, and more. For all ticket sales and schedule information or to charge tickets by phone, you can call the Mets ticket office at 718-507-TIXX during business hours, and of course realizing that a per-ticket surcharge will apply. Mets trailing 2-1. Frank Tanana leads it off here in the bottom of the third. A strike from Danny Jackson. Frank batting 161 with 2 extra base hits on the year. 0-2 now to Tanana.
Not many people that play Major League Ball can say they got their first base hit at the age of 39.
Frank being in the DH League, of course, the American League for 20 years before this year.
Gives you good battle at the plate. Tries to get the bat on the ball. He's had 9 hits this year.
Fouls another one back. Still 0-2 to Tanana. Well, a miniature Philly fanatic is up this evening.
Does he ever go on the road with the ball club?
Occasionally. He has in past years.
He's a great show.
Tanana lifts it left side. Kevin Stocker holding off Incaviglia, but El Toro won.
Every time.
Hey, fans, a great way to reward yourself after the game is with the fresh, pure, natural taste of an ice-cold Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Ryan Thompson now the batter. Thompson grounded to short on the first pitch in the first inning.
Yankees leading Milwaukee 3-1 that game in the bottom of the first.
Milwaukee still batting. Toronto over Detroit 3-2 with Detroit batting in the bottom of the second inning. And a strike to Thompson. All sorts of fun in the big leagues tonight. Russ Salzberg will have all the updated scores on our news immediately following the game, but during the game, Macy's and Toyota bring you the scores.
And it's Atlanta 2-0 over Cincinnati in the second. Pittsburgh leading Florida 1-0 in the third.
Fly ball left field. In is Incaviglia to make the catch. 2 outs.
And all the other action a little bit later.
Big game, of course, the Chicago Cubs against the San Francisco Giants, who have lost 6 in a row.
Incaviglia getting a good jump on this ball, making a relatively easy catch on the looper to left.
Kevin Baez hit it deep to center in the first inning, but it was tracked down by Lenny Dykstra. Jackson has not thrown a ball this inning, has he?
He's been in that strike zone.
There's one. Tanana fouling back 3 pitches. He threw 6 strikes to Tanana, 2 to Thompson, and the first one to Baez. 9 straight strikes. And finally a ball. 1-1 to Kevin Baez. Jackson has walked only 11 in his last 7 starts. Ground ball to third. Hollins, a tough hop, guns him out, and he can do that. Terrific arm. And the Mets go in order. Still 2-1 Philadelphia. We go to the 4th after this from Budweiser.
You can feel it deep inside. Dedication and a real sense of pride. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be your bud.
It's pretty safe to say that nobody's going to award us the Nobel Prize for designing a filtering system for Sunoco gasoline. But what this filter does is keep the tiny particles that can find their way into gasoline from finding their way into your engine. We've been told we're a tad on the obsessive side. Tell that to the guy on the side of the road with a clogged fuel line.
Show your colors with the Mets MasterCard from Chemical Bank. If you have one, use it. If not, call 1-800-233-METS to apply.
An astute convict takes on a cop from the future.
You're history. How can I be history? I'm not even born yet.
Time Tracks. Wednesday at 8 on Channel 9.
Top of the fourth inning, a 2-1 Philly lead, and in to call it for you, here's Ralph.
Okay, Tim, and Darren Dalton will lead it off for Philadelphia. He flied the left field his first time up. Dalton at 260 for the year with 23 home runs, 99 runs batted in. He led the league in RBI last year. 1 ball, no strikes as Frank Tanana works for the New York Mets, trying to win his 240th Major League game. Swing and a miss for strike one. He's tied for 47th on the all-time win list, tied with Three Fingers Mordecai Brown. Dalton 1 for 4 last night. And Tanana just does miss with a fastball, 2 balls, 1 strike. Tanana 14th in the all-time strikeout list. He struck out 3 in this game. And that's strike 2. It's 2-2. He has a total of 2,007. Make that 2,802 strikeouts in his Major League career. Mets had the all-time strikeout leader in Major League history pitch for them. Left-hand pitcher, Mickey Lolich. And that pitch is in there for a strikeout. So Dalton is struck out. 4th strikeout for Tanana. And it will bring up Pete Incaviglia. Well, the Mets have announced that pitcher Anthony Young has a torn medial collateral ligament in his left thumb and will undergo season-ending surgery on Thursday at Roosevelt Hospital in Manhattan to be performed by Dr. Richard Eaton. So his season over. There's a drive to left. Well hit right over the head and off the top of the fence. And Incaviglia, trying to make a double out of it, is thrown out at second base on a perfect throw as the ball went over the head of Darren Jackson. He retrieved it in a hurry, and Incaviglia thrown out at second, and he appears to have injured himself.
This ball misses by about 4 inches from going out of the ballpark. Incaviglia grabbing his left shin. Jeff Cooper, the trainer of the Phillies, out to examine him. A fine play by Darren Jackson. And Incaviglia with that head-first slide. There are more guys injured with head-first slides than any other happening on the bases. Incaviglia, however, you don't know how he injured his left shin. It was probably that knee that buckled under. Yep. It is just not worth it to try a head-first slide. Not worth it.
Especially for someone who is as big as he is and as valuable with a bat. He really is walking gingerly off that infield. Boy, this ball is hit like a rocket.
Look how close it is to going out. About 4 inches. Terrific play by Jackson. There, it looked like he injured that knee on the slide. It could have been going around first base, maybe a strain, and irritating it when he slid.
Could be a very tough accident for Incaviglia. It appears he's going out of the ball game as the Mets get their second out of the inning, and Wes Chamberlain comes to the plate. Chamberlain walked his first time up. And he gets a curveball for a called strike. Chamberlain hitting .327 against left-hand pitching. And he hits a high fly ball to center. Thompson off. And the catch retires aside. One hit, no one left. The score at the end of 3.5 innings. The Phillies 2 and the Mets 1. And here's a word from Nobody Beats the Wiz. Milt Thompson, the new left fielder for the Phillies, replacing Incaviglia. And for the Mets, it's Eddie Murray at the plate. Mets trailing 2-1, and Murray fouls off a fastball. On the mound, Danny Jackson. He's been plagued by injuries after a great year for the Cincinnati Reds in 1988. He led the league in wins with 23. Lost only 8. He was second in the Cy Young Award voting to Oral Hershiser, and that pitch looped into center field, so Murray has the Mets' second base hit as he leads off here in the 4th. This game is brought to you in part by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. For everything in home electronics, music, and movies, Nobody Beats the Wiz. And by the New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company. Dave Gallagher now batting for the Mets. Dave walked and scored his first time up. Driven in on a sac fly by Darren Jackson. The Mets led 1-0, but on a 2-run home run, the Phillies got the lead. Tough hop there, and it's handled perfectly. And the double play turned as Stocker goes to Duncan, Duncan to Jordan.
Remember, we talked earlier about Jim Fregosi saying that Kevin Stocker has a lot of things you can't teach. He thought that ball was going to be an in-between hop, and then he smothered it before the ball had a chance to. See that last step coming in? That makes it a short hop. And now a nice soft toss to Duncan and a relatively easy double play. Fine play by Kevin Stocker.
And the first pitch to Chico Walker, and it's taken for a called strike. Walker singled his first time up. Walker playing third base for the Mets tonight. He played second last night. And this ball popped up to Dykstra in center field. So the Mets get a hit. It was erased by the double play. No one left on base. The score at the end of 4. Philadelphia 2, the Mets 1. And here's a word from your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Your Ford dealers got hot year-end savings at the factory authorized clearance. The Ford Explorer, bestseller in its class, with comfort, room, and handling you won't find in other utility vehicles. And now, save over $1,900 on Explorer. Grab sizzling year-end savings during the factory authorized clearance. See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer today and see for yourself.
Soon, you'll hear it. The best long-distance service is about to get even better. It's a breakthrough from AT&T Bell Labs, and it makes AT&T sound quality dramatically superior to any other long-distance company. So much clearer, closer, and more natural. Even 8 out of 10 people who don't have AT&T prefer it. AT&T True Voice, coming in the months ahead, free. Just another part of the iPlan.
There we were, a jillion miles outside of the hood. The bus got a flat, got no jack. Homie's got to cut his grass. What's up?
4.5. Here, down. Sold.
The man's round sales, but he's got no beef. Pardon me.
That was there.
Yo, MC Cow Seller. Fresh.
I'm Brenda Blackman. Tonight, complete primary coverage, live reports from campaign headquarters. We'll talk to the candidates and keep you up to date on election results. Tonight, after the Mets baseball.
Top of the 5th, the Phillies leading 2-1, and it'll be Kevin Stocker to lead it off for Philadelphia. Stocker struck out his first time up. He has hit the Mets exceptionally well since coming up to the major season. He is now 6 for 14 against the Mets. And he has an idea about bunting and bunts it foul. Frank Tanana on the mound for the Mets. He has a record of 1 win and 1 loss against the Phillies in his major league career. Last year with Detroit, Tanana was 13-11. Six for 13 against the Mets. Batting .340 on the year, and the young rookie takes outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. He's had 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. 10 of his 29 runs batted in have come with 2 men out. And a fly ball to right field. Gallagher, the right fielder. 1 away. The Braves have tacked on some more. 6-0 over Cincinnati, the game in the top of the 3rd.
Atlanta Braves are 41-15 since the All-Star break.
They acquired Fred McGriff about the middle of July, and that pitch is taken low as Danny Jackson bats for the 2nd time. Jackson was struck out his first time up. 1 of 4 struck out by Tanana, and this fastball fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Ron Gant hit a grand slam home run tonight in the 2nd inning, and I believe that is Gant's first regular season home run with the bases full ever. If you may recall.
Round ball towards short. Walker picks it out and gets the out.
Good play by Chico Walker. You may recall Game 2 of the National League Championship Series last year when Bob Walk fell behind Ron Gant. He got 2 balls and no strikes in Game 2 with the bases loaded, and Gant hit a home run, a grand slam home run, his first grand slam ever. Can you imagine that, hitting one in the League Championship Series and never having hit one in the regular season? Well, he has one now. He hit one tonight.
And that is his first in the regular season. Sabo leads the National League in Grand Slam home runs with 3. And now with 2 men out in the 5th, the batter will be Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra 1 for 2 in the game.
Like Danny Jackson's limping now.
Boy, he has been on that DL so many times.
Jim Fregosi now talking to Danny, and Danny pointing as though it were the bag he tripped over. Problems with his toe, off of which he pushes that left big toe.
He is noticeably limping. 1-0 the count to Dykstra, and now the pitch in for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Lenny Dykstra. Good curveball there for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
He leads the Phillies in home runs against right-handed pitching. 17. As that graphic illustrated, only 1 home run against left-handed.
And the count goes to 2-2. Dykstra not happy with that call. Fouled it off, and now back in the batter's box. And it's looped into right center field for a base hit. So Dykstra gets his 2nd hit. And that puts a runner on with 2 men out in the 5th and brings up Mariano Duncan. Duncan with a single his first time up, 1 for 2 in the game. Phillies about hit the Mets 5-2. They lead 2-1 with 2 men out in the top of the 5th inning. Dykstra a threat to steal. He has 36 stolen bases this year, career high. And that's ball one. Duncan with a base hit his first time up. Now is hit in 14 consecutive games. That is his career high. And he has a swing at that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Brien catching for the Mets in this game. His career percentage of throwing runners out, he has thrown out 39% of the runners attempting to steal. That's a marvelous percentage. Short lead for Dykstra. Phillies have been successful 77% of the time they have stolen. Again, Dykstra chased back. A little bigger lead this time for Dykstra. He does not go on the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Larry Boa, the third base coach for Philadelphia. Great shortstop. And this one down the left field line, but foul. So Duncan out in front of the changeup, and he pulls it foul. That evens out the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Talking to Larry Boa before the game, and I used to kid Bo. We were teammates in the late 70s. I said, "You resting peacefully now, Bo?" He says, "I get to bed about 4:30 in the morning every morning."
He is high strung, isn't he?
Well, especially the way the Phillies have been going. There have not been a lot of people in the Philadelphia area sleeping peacefully nowadays. And Bo is one of them.
Well, it's really not so much the Phillies going bad. It's the fact that Montreal has been just terrific.
Good point.
15 of their last 16 have been on the win side. 6 in a row, and they're 5.5 games back. And that fastball gets him. Good pitch by Frank Tanana. The strikeout ends the inning. 1 hit, 1 left, and the score at the end of 4.5 innings. The Phillies 2 and the Mets 1. And here's a word from Toyota.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I have to see it. If a movie got great reviews, you'd go see it, wouldn't you? Absolutely fantastic. If everyone kept talking about a book, you'd probably read it. And if Automobile Magazine called this Toyota Camry the best car built in America, you'd give it a test drive, right? The 1993 Toyota Camry. Everything you've heard is true.
Let's throw a party with your birthday money. I'm putting it into a MetLife State Street mutual fund. Balloons, a few friends, your big sister. Maybe stock or bond fund, a money market or tax-exempt fund. In time, I could have thousands of dollars in my MetLife mutual fund. Thousands? What a party that could be. Get Met, it pays.
In short, gentlemen, our capitalization plan has paid handsome dividends. Johnson here will fill you in on the details.
Thank you, J.P. Let me begin by saying, we've been acquired.
By whom? The Omega Corporation?
No, Chuck from the mailroom.
Howdy, boys. Ms. Whitaker.
New York Lotto. Hey, you never know.
Coffee, Johnson.
Kane must stop a renegade KGB agent.
I'll say goodbye to your family.
On the next Kung Fu, the legend continues. Wednesday at 9 on Channel 9.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, and the Phillies leading 2-1 once again. Here is Tim McCarver.
All right, Ralph, Jeff Kent will lead it off. He flied deep to center his first time up, tracked down by Lenny Dykstra, but in the process, he moved Dave Gallagher to third, and Gallagher scoring on a sacrifice fly by Darren Jackson. 0-1 to Jeff Kent. 2-1 Philadelphia over the Mets here in the bottom of the fifth. Outside, ball one. You'd like to go into the minds of the players now and the manager and the coaches sitting on the bench and see what happens when that 2 spot just was fired up for the Montreal Expos. That just happened right before that shot was taken. 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Well, they might not show any emotion because that's the thing to do, but inside there is some.
Expos over the Cardinals, still batting in the top of the 3rd inning. Darren Jackson has driven in the only run of the game for the Mets with a sac fly in the 2nd inning. Ball one to Jackson.
Jackson on the DL from July 19th to September 1st with hyperthyroidism.
Strange malady, but no effects right there as he hammers one to left. So Jackson is on at first with 1 away.
AT&T, the best in the business, salutes Ed Walsh. The best in the game, Ty Cobb said of Ed Walsh. When this big moose had his stuff, he was just unbeatable, that's all. AT&T salutes Ed Walsh, who holds the Major League record for the lowest lifetime earned run average, 1.82. Big Ed Walsh.
1 out, 1 on. Charlie O'Brien, the batter. 2-1 Philadelphia here in the 5th inning. Left field, and slipping is Milt Thompson, but he regains his balance to make the catch. 2 outs. Frank Tanana coming up. Lee Thomas, the general manager of the Phillies, certainly has earned his stripes this year with all of the extra men signed by the Phillies. Milt Thompson, Jim Eisenreich, Pete Incaviglia. Of course, Ricky Jordan was in the fold. Todd Pratt, a catcher. Tanana hammers one to center. Still 2-1 Philadelphia. We'll be back after this from your Tri-State Ford dealer.
Come a little closer. I've got something to show you. This is the Ford Thunderbird Super Coupe. This is the Thunderbird Standard. 2 great cars, 1 new look. Now you can get the sporty good looks and the popular styling of the Super Coupe for the price of the Standard. It's your Ford dealer's 1 look you're hooked offer.
Now get AM/FM cassette, air conditioning, and more for just $16,292. It's the 1 Look Thunderbird.
Whoever thought you'd get so much for so little? 1 look and you'll be hooked. See for yourself today.
Hi, this has to be in LA tomorrow.
No problem, sir.
With express mail from the Postal Service, you're never left in the dark.
Yes, your package is in LA and will be delivered.
Morning.
From just $9.95, we track, we trace, we deliver for you.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
shopping. 9 out of 10 use it. All aboard! The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages from Bell Atlantic.
Top of the 6th inning, it's a 2-1 Philly lead. Why? Because of the leadoff batter here in the 6th inning. Ricky Jordan's 2-run homer in the 4th. Make that the 3rd inning. He hit it with Lenny Dykstra aboard. Dykstra scoring his 132nd run of the year. Difference in this game. It's 2-1 Philadelphia, top of the 6th inning. And the first pitch to Jordan, a fastball for a strike. Coming into tonight's play, Jordan was batting only .214 against left-handed pitching. He has done the damage for Philadelphia. Strike 2. Expos now leading the Cardinals 5-0. Still batting in the top of the 3rd inning. The Phillies play the Expos this weekend in Montreal. Maybe the Quebecers can get away from their preseason hockey giddiness to go out and watch a baseball game at the Big O.
They don't draw some people for that series, they never will.
And Jordan down on strikes. That is strikeout number 6 for Tanana. 1 out here in the 6th inning.
And the strikeout high with the Mets is 8. He's done that twice. It's just amazing how someone who does not throw hard can strike out so many just with off-speed pitches, good location, variation of pitches. In the 60s he threw in the 90s, in the 90s he throws in the 60s is the expression.
Johnny Sane has said that pitching is the art of fooling the hitter, and nobody does it any more than Frank Tanana. 0-1 now to Dave Hollins, who is 0 for 2.
He was extremely disappointed when he wasn't picked up by a contending ball club in the stretch drive. He said, and he has proved what he has said, that he has the ability and the background to pitch under pressure.
Popped up. O'Brien near the stands. And O'Brien slamming into the stands. Boy, that had to hurt. Did not have enough hang time for Charlie to get over under it. And he arrived at the stands when the ball did.
He does hit this railing hard.
Wow.
And he doesn't even rub. Not a grimace in the carload as he took that bump hard. That's one way to use a crutch.
And Hollins down on strikes. 7 strikeouts now for Tanana. Unusual way for a gentleman to retrieve a ball. Ball had been perched up on the screen. The gentleman borrowing a crutch down there. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. 2-1 Philadelphia, and Darren Dalton the batter, and he takes ball 1.
We have lost total power on our scoreboards all around the ballpark.
Have to go up the left center. Not in left center. It's 1-1 to Dalton.
Well, that's the video machine out there, but our scoreboard is gone. So are our auxiliary scoreboards. The video screen's still operating.
Inside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Darren Dalton. Dalton a strikeout victim, and he's flied to left. Tells you what you want to know. Two and 2 to Dutch, as he is fondly known. You're watching Mets Baseball 93 on Channel 9, WWOR TV, Secaucus, New Jersey. Tim McCarver, Ralph Kiner on a lovely evening here at Shea.
And good weather tomorrow promised by the weatherman as the Mets conclude their homestand and their final game with the Philadelphia Phillies this year.
Check swing, and this might be a hit. Tanana does all he can and throws it away. Up on the tarp, first base umpire Randy Marsh says a fan did not interfere with the ball, and Dalton will stay at first base with an infield hit.
A severe jam job here by Tanana. Dalton breaks his bat trying to get out of the way, and a perfect swinging bunt as Tanana tries to throw him out. He had no chance. He did not make a turn towards second, so the ball stayed in play, but he just stayed in line, so no play on him at first, which would have been possible if he had turned. The first base coach, Mel Roberts, is saying go to second, but it's a good thing he didn't.
Well, that ball hugging the tarp, it rolled along the tarp, and you had 3 or 4 fans reaching over trying to grab it, but fortunately for the Mets, they didn't touch it. No fan interference. Here's Milt Thompson. He entered the game when Pete Incaviglia was thrown out trying to stretch a single to a double in the 4th inning and was injured, injuring his left leg. We do not have a report on Incaviglia, but we will try to get it for you. No balls, 1 strike to Thompson. Here's that play again to Dalton.
He just gets sawed off on that pitch and ends up with a base hit.
Well, the big thing is that ball rolling along the tarp. I'll tell you, the Mets came perilously close for Randy Marsh allowing Dalton to go to second. See how the fans are all reaching over, the ball hugging the tarp, and fortunately for the Mets, Kent retrieves it in time. No balls, 1 strike to Milt Thompson. Good curveball, but it's outside. Dalton a threat to run. He has 5 stolen bases. He has not been caught. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. And the board is back on. The scoreboard lights back on, and a hand by the fans in attendance. I'd say about 15 or 16,000 on hand tonight. High, ball 3 to Thompson, 3-1.
And the fans can go back to the scoreboard watching. And that scoreboard packed with interesting facts.
Three balls, 1 strike to Milt Thompson. 2-1 Phillies here in the 6th inning. Fly ball, tough chance for Walker. Is it fair? No. Foul ball. Nice try by Chico, trying to track down that foul pop. So the count's full, 3-2 to Milt Thompson.
Well, he's the only man that could even get close to it, but it drops in foul territory. Gives Thompson another shot at it. Toronto and Detroit tied up at 5. That game in the bottom of the 4th.
There goes Dalton. Swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts now for Frank Tanana. After 5.5, it's 2-1 Philadelphia. We're back after this from Toyota.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I have to see it. If a movie got great reviews, you'd go see it, wouldn't you? If everyone kept talking about a book, you'd probably read it. And if Automobile Magazine called this Toyota Camry the best car built in America, you'd give it a test drive, right? The 1993 Toyota Camry. Everything you've heard is true.
Soon, you'll hear it. The best long-distance service is about to get even better. It's a breakthrough from AT&T Bell Labs, and it makes AT&T sound quality dramatically superior to any other long-distance company. So much clearer, closer, and more natural. Even 8 out of 10 people who don't have AT&T prefer it. AT&T True Voice, coming in the months ahead, free. Just another part of the iPlan.
Any faucet can turn on water. Kohler faucets give it shape. Change the flow. Once you turn on a Kohler faucet, you'll never want plain water again. The full line of Kohler products are available at these locations.
I have a dog. He's a great dog, but he digs. Night and day and night and day, dig, 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 dig. My brother's dog, he's in commercials, makes a fortune. My neighbor's dog, 5 months old, comes on the first whistle. My dog, you whistle, he digs, but who cares?
Well, you just watch Frank Tanana work against a fine-hitting ball club like the Phillies. He has struck out 8. He trails 2-1. He was no hit in his last outing against Darryl Kyle and the Houston Astros last Wednesday. And you can't help but feel some empathy for the lack of support the Mets have shown Frank Tanana this year. Entering the game 6 and 15. And as we've stated earlier, he deserves a better fate as Ryan Thompson takes ball 1. That's high. 1-0 to Rhino, who is 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and flied to left.
He's had a good homestand. And since he has been back up here with the Mets, he's done well, hitting .282.
Grounded to third. Hollins waiting and guns him out. Hollins with the strongest arm of any third baseman in the National League and perhaps in baseball. Possible exception of Scott Cooper with the Boston Red Sox. Boy, I mean, he can throw.
He unleashes it, doesn't he? Caminiti has a strong arm.
I don't think as strong as this guy. Rule 5 draft by the Phillies 3 years ago. He is a good player as Kevin Baez grounds it to short. Stocker now, 2 outs. Speaking of Boston,
Red Sox on top of the Orioles 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th on a 2-run home run.
Baltimore 2 games behind the Blue Jays. Toronto still tied at Detroit, and the Yankees 7-3 winners over Milwaukee right now in the top of the 3rd inning. A lot of runs being produced at County Stadium in Milwaukee this evening. Eddie Murray, the batter. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the 4th. 1 strike. On the outside corner, strike 2 to Murray. Another one to Stocker, and he boots it. He came up instead of staying down, and it will probably be an error on Kevin Stocker.
It is scored as an error. That's the 11th error Stocker has made. He came up, the ball stayed down and ricocheted off his leg into shallow left field. So the Mets now have the potential time run at first base with Dave Gallagher, the batter.
Gallagher scored the only run in the game for the Mets, and he takes a fastball low. Dave 0 for 1, but his career against the Phillies is a good one. Lined hard up the middle, base hit. Murray stops at second base. So 2 on, 2 out. And Chico Walker coming up. Walker with a hit tonight. Chico 1 for 2, a single in the second inning that led to a run. Slider low, ball 1. With 4 hits, the Phillies with 6. The Phillies have committed the only error of the game. We'll see how costly it is. Perhaps after this at bat by Walker. 2 balls, no strikes.
Jim Fregosi was plagued by the errors made by shortstops until they got Stocker.
But Stocker has made 11. So the Phillies shortstops have made over 40 this year. That's a bunch. Outside, ball 3. 3-0 now to Walker. Juan Bell was a shortstop for the Phillies. Mariano Duncan, a shortstop. Kim Batiste has played shortstop for the Phillies. With Jeff Kent, the on-deck batter, it's 3 balls and no strikes to Chico Walker. Ball, make that a strike on the corner. Walker thought it was outside. I did too.
And I did too.
Harry Wendelstedt punches up a strike.
He gave him a good call on this pitch.
Yep.
That ball's out of the strike zone.
Might have been low too. That's the previous pitch. So it's 3-1 to Walker. He fouls it back. 3-2. So at the count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And 2 outs. Murray and Gallagher will be taking off.
Good count for Eddie Murray at second base. He does not run well, and he'll be able to be in motion and could score easily on a single. Chamberlain, a good arm in right field.
Leads the Phillies in assists with 10, does Wes Chamberlain. Runners are off, and so is Chico Walker off to first base. So the bases are loaded, 2 outs, and Jeff Kent coming up.
Second walk issued by Jackson. His first walk scored back in the second for the Mets.
Nowhere to put Kent. This one hit the center. Dykstra is in. He's not going to be able to get to it. It bounces by Dykstra. Now Walker's going to score. It is 4-2 Mets on a misplayed ball by Lenny Dykstra. giving the Mets at least 1 run. We'll see how it's scored.
Well, Johnny Padres going out to talk to his pitcher, the pitching coach of the Phillies. We'll look at this again. Dykstra tried to get to it. He couldn't. It goes by him. That should be an error. And it allows 3 runs to score, and all 3 runs are unearned as the error by Stocker prolonged the inning. Murray scores from third base, Gallagher from second, and Walker all the way from first, and the Mets have taken the lead 4-2.
It is an error on Lenny Dykstra, so it's a single for Jeff Kent, 2 runs driven in, and an error on Lenny Dykstra. 2 very costly errors in this inning by the Phillies. And it's 4-2 New York. Mets have not beaten the Phillies in this ballpark this year. They have lost 10 of 11 to Philadelphia here at Shea. And it's 1-1 to Darren Jackson. Montreal winning big, the Phillies losing 4-2 here in the 6th inning. Outside, ball 2. Bobby Thigpen is up and throwing for the Phillies.
Jackson, the pitcher, due to bat in the next half inning, so they're getting ready for a pinch hitter.
Not because it was Jackson's fault. He's done his job, but a costly error by Kevin Stocker with 2 out and nobody on a routine grounder hit by Eddie Murray. Stocker with all the time in the world. He came up on the ball. It squirted through his legs, hit his heel, and landed in shallow left. And that has opened the gates to 3 unearned runs here in the 6th inning, and that's the score. 2-2 pitch gets Jackson, but the Cows are out of the barn. It's 4-2 Mets after 6. We're back after this from American Express.
American Express is about to mail card applications to a very select group, and they asked if I would help. Sure, I said, I'd love to help people avoid paying high interest, but I can't do it alone. Coochie. Coochie, it's your job to lick, stack, and sort. That's good, yeah. Now you use the floor, I'll use the desk. No teeth marks. These aren't going out to just anybody. Hey, that's my banana.
Check your mail for an application, and to apply for the card, send it in today.
Don't worry, Coochie and I will be working overtime to make sure every application gets out. That one's on its way.
The factory authorized clearance means the hottest savings of the year at your Ford dealer on Ford Escort, America's best-selling small car. Choose any Escort, 3-door, 4-door, 5-door wagon, all the same low price. Everything's priced to move, and the savings are hot on 5 of the 10 best sellers at the factory authorized clearance. See your tri-state quality Ford dealer today and see for yourself.
Ford dealers. When you're hot, you're hot. This is your world. Genuine and true, working together in all that you do, and you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
His closest friend and toughest case, Perry Mason, returns Saturday at 8.
If the Mets maintain the lead and win this game, and Montreal maintains their lead in St. Louis, they're leading 5-0. The magic number for the Phillies will stay at 14 with 17 games to play. The Expos with 18 to play. And to take you through the last 2.5 or 3 innings, perhaps, back in to call it for you, here's Ralph.
All right, Tim, and Wes Chamberlain will lead it off for Philadelphia. Frank Tanana, who has struck out 8, gets a strike there, and it's strike 1. Chamberlain has walked and flied to center field. Batting 7th in the batting order for the Philadelphia Phillies. And the fastball spotted outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fernandez 8 strikeouts in this game. 3rd time he has done that for the Mets. His career high 17 strikeouts while pitching for the California Angels against Texas. And a base hit to center field. So Chamberlain singles as he leads off here in the 7th inning.
Take a look at our American Express financial update for the afternoon. The Dow down 18.45. The S&P 500's down 2.16. Gold up 210. And silver up 0.67. That's not 67 cents. It's about almost 7 cents. I've never seen 0.067 for silver to be up, but we try to get it right here.
They might have that point in the wrong point. Now the batter is Kevin Stocker, who's 0 for 2, and he takes for ball 1.
No, well, there's no way it's up 67 cents when it closed at 3.97.
That is true.
If that is true, then I would, like to have been in silver about 8:30 this morning.
You and Hunt.
Yeah.
And the fastball fouled into the stand, so they count 1 ball and 1 strike. Incidentally, they're playing in Colorado. No score there in the 5th. Yesterday in Colorado, the game was snowed out.
5.3 inches of snow yesterday in Denver.
1 ball, 1 strike, and Stocker takes inside 2-1. Stocker coming into this game hitting .342. 196 at bats. And he fouls off the fastball. They count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stocker against left-hand pitching coming into this game hitting .418 as Mike Maddox throws in the bullpen for the Mets. Tanana has not had a complete game for the Mets. He has lasted through the 8th inning. And he misses with the fastball, and that fills it out 3-2. Chamberlain with 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts. They're down to a pinch hitter, so there could be some action going here. On deck batter scheduled to be the pitcher, but they have a pinch hitter ready. And the runner does not go, and the ball lined to right center field. It might be extra bases. Gallagher, a great pickup, and he holds Stocker at first base as the throw goes into second. And on the play, Chamberlain goes over to third. Good play by Gallagher in right center field to hold that to a single.
You imagine a young man like Kevin Stocker, brought up about middle of July and shoved right in a pennant race. 23 years old. Pressure's on the young players. It's like a vice, boy, I'll tell you. You don't sleep at night. You wonder when that magic number is going to wind down. Try to relax. Water goes down in lumps. Food doesn't taste right.
And we're going to have Todd Pratt as the pinch hitter. He's hitting .293. 5 home runs, 13 runs batted in. And now with the pinch hitter announced in the ball game, Dallas Green going out to the mound.
Matter of fact, Ralph, I would say that one of the biggest signs as Dallas is checking to see if Pratt was announced, and now he's going back to see with Bobby Wine that he might want to make a double switch with the pitcher hitting second in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's exactly what he's doing. He's going to make a double switch right now by going to Harry Wendelstedt, and he was saved by Bobby Wine, who called him back and said, don't cross the line. Once you cross the line and he calls for the pitcher, you cannot make the double switch then.
So it's going to be Jackson coming out of the ball game. Orsulak will come into play.
What I was going to say is the bland taste of food is probably the biggest sign that you're in a pennant race the last month of the season. Food just it has no taste.
All you can do is to get water down. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So a double switch as Tanana leads the ball game after working 6 innings. And he's leading this game by a score of 4-2. His fate has not been on his side, as he has left 3 games with the lead and lost them. The Mets lost them all. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by New York Telephone, keeping you connected to those you care about.
The busy signal.
Where's the plumber?
Try the busy signal fix. Press *66. Repeat dialing. It redials for half an hour and rings you when the other line's free. 75 cents per use plus cost of call.
Hello. Ideal Plumbing?
*66, the busy signal fix. Repeat dialing from New York Telephone.
American Express is about to mail card applications to a very select group, and they asked if I would help. Sure, I said, I'd love to help people avoid paying high interest, but I can't do it alone. Coochie, it's your job to lick, stack, and sort. That's good, yeah. Now you use the floor, I'll use the desk. No teeth marks. These aren't going out to just anybody. Hey, that's my banana.
Check your mail for an application, and to apply for the card, send it in today.
Don't worry, Coochie and I will be working overtime to make sure every application gets out. That one's on its way.
The punches, the clinches, the spills, the kills, the hits, the misses, the kicks and the kisses. This fall, Channel 9 has all the right moves. I'm putting you under arrest. With a winning combination of familiar favorites and hot newcomers, we've got the guys and girls you want to see.
Assume the position and do it now.
And the fast-paced action you want to watch.
It's not too late. We can catch him.
Channel 9's gonna move you this fall.
Mike Maddox is in the ball game in relief of Frank Tanana, and he will be batting 7th, with Joe Orsulak entering the game and batting 9th. And the reason for that is that Dallas Green, in the nick of time, made the double switch. Someone alerted him in the dugout. Look at Harry Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire and crew chief. He was waiting for Dallas to cross that line, and once you cross the line and motion to the right-hander, he is immediately inserted in the number 9 spot. And Bobby Wine alerting Dallas to the double switch. He gave him the lineup card, and now Dallas makes the proper move, putting Orsulak in the 9 hole and the pitcher Mike Maddox in the 7 hole.
And with the right-hander coming in the ball game, Mike Maddox, the Phillies are switching to John Kruk as a pinch hitter in place of Todd Pratt. So Pratt's out of the ball game. He was officially announced in. Kruk as a pinch hitter is 1 for 7 this year. He has not driven in a run. He's hitting .315 for the season with 13 home runs and 74 RBIs. So it'll be John Kruk as a pinch hitter. Runners at first and third. Mets leading by a score of 4-2. And Maddox breaking contact with the pitching rubber, so he does not have to throw. And the pitch to Kruk, a fly ball to the left. It'll score a run. Orsulak backpedaling is back there to make the catch. Chamberlain comes in to score. Stocker, the runner at first base, halfway back to first. And the Phillies now trail by only 1.
Well, Maddox did what he wanted to do. He would have taken the double play, obviously, but he got an out. And now the Mets still have a 1-run lead, but they're a lot better off by being 1 run ahead with a runner on first and 1 out than they were being 2 runs down with runners on first and third and no outs.
Pick up a big out, and that'll bring up Lenny Dykstra, who's 2 for 3 in the game. And Maddox gets him the swing at a breaking ball for strike one.
That was a huge out for Mike Maddox. You get John Kruk in that situation, he's one of the guys that you don't want to see up there if you're a Mets pitcher.
And Maddox one strike pitch swung on and missed for strike two. Dykstra doubled in the third after flying out in foul territory and right in the first, and then was aboard in the 2-run home run by Ricky Jordan to put the Phillies up 2-1 over the Mets, and he singled and was left at first in the fifth. Another toss to first. Stocker with a very short lead.
Lenny Dykstra, the best two-strike hitter in the National League.
And he pulls the ball foul. That's what he's good at. Spoiling pitches with 2 strikes till he gets a good one.
Only struck out 31 times. I beg your pardon, he struck out 57 times. I was looking at Jim Eisenreich.
Dykstra hitting .306 on the year, 18 home runs, 58 runs batted in. And that pitch awfully close, and Dykstra gets the call from home plate umpire Harry Wendelstedt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And it's grounded to Murray, goes to the shortstop Baez. The call at second base is out as they get the lead runner. That leaves Dykstra at first base, and he, of course, a threat to steal. He represents a potential tying run.
Eddie Murray at first base, you're not going to get too many 3-6-3 double plays, and Murray properly getting the sure out. You see how deliberate he is when he throws to Baez. No return throw.
That brings up Mariano Duncan, who's 1 for 3 in this game. And Dykstra gets some attention at first. Dykstra with 36 stolen bases. Dykstra not too big a lead. Duncan singled in the first inning. He has a career high 63 runs batted in and a 14-game hitting streak. Mike Maddox in relief of Frank Tanana. And a good breaking ball, strike one. Baltimore now leading Boston 5-3 that game in the top of the 7th. Yankees 7-3 over Milwaukee. The runner goes. The throw by O'Brien is almost a perfect throw, but it goes through in the center field. Dykstra up and over to third. Thompson has some difficulty picking it up and does, and gets it back in. That throw looked like it was a perfect throw, and Kent unable to grab it, and it goes through.
I tell you, it looked to me like he shied away from the sliding Dykstra. Not saying that Jeff has any fear, but this ball's got to be handled. I mean, O'Brien will get the error, but I think the error should go to Jeff Kent.
Oh, that's a pretty good throw. Kent, of course, not taking the throw in the right position. He's off to the side of the bag rather than straddling the bag. Dykstra going over to third in the air, so the time run now at third, and there's another good curveball. It's strike two.
Dykstra was looking at center fielder Ryan Thompson. Larry Boa, the third base coach, was waving him home. Look at this. Boa's saying, come on, come on. And a lot of third base coaches will do that, but then he'll make them round the bag, and then Thompson comes up with it in time.
So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Duncan. And the fastball for ball 2, 2-2.
That was, by the way, a throwing error on Charlie O'Brien, but that was a ball that could have been handled by Kent.
And the pitch back is fouled back. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again a foul ball. Count stays at 2-2. Mets led 1-0 after 2 and then trailed 2-1 after 2.5. Then took the lead with 3 runs all unearned in the 6th to lead 4-2. Phillies with a run back here in the 7th. And it's fouled off of Duncan's foot, so the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Duncan got a pretty good pitch to hit there. A hanging breaking ball, but fouled it straight down. Once again, Maddox back. And he struck him out. Big strikeout for Mike Maddox to end the inning. 1-run scoring. There were 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left at third. The score at the end of 6.5 innings. The Mets 4, Philadelphia 3, and here's a word from Infinity.
Imagine I'm an Infinity J30 under assembly. So why am I just sitting here? Because if you want an incredibly precise body, you can't roll it around while you're building it. So, instead of moving the car around, Infinity moves around the car. It's called IBAS construction. At your Infinity showroom, you can learn about all the incredible thinking in this car. Because they wouldn't want you to appreciate them just for their bodies.
Lease one of the world's most advanced automobiles, now at a very special rate for a limited time.
The way you look. The way you live. The way you feel. The way you shop. Macy's.
Hi, I got this letter from a deputy sheriff. Kiwi strawberry cocktail has become the main drink of all the officers I work with. I love a man in uniform.
We had a down period in the jail one night.
This one is good.
Isn't it? We were bored. I found the address was printed on there.
Where's that address I found?
So I said, what the heck? I'm going to write them a letter and tell them how much I like their product. Most law enforcement officers drink coffee and eat donuts all night long. Some of us drink Snapple.
Snapple's made from the best stuff on earth.
At Nobody Beats the Whiz, we know the importance of teaching your children. And nothing teaches them better than an Apple Macintosh computer. That's why more schools throughout the country use Apple computers than any other. The Apple Macintosh Performa is so easy to use that it's #1 for homework and #1 for work at home. The Apple Macintosh Performa, the family personal computer built just for you. At Nobody Beats the Whiz.
Bobby Thigpen, the reliever, in as the Mets on top of the Phillies. A good ball game. An error opening the way to 3 unearned runs for the Mets in the 6th inning. The big error being on shortstop Kevin Stocker. Bobby Thigpen in the game, obtained from the Chicago White Sox earlier. He is 2-1 with the Phillies, his 12th appearance.
And his first batter will be Charlie O'Brien. O'Brien goes after the first pitch, lobs it down in the left field for a base hit. Over there is Thompson to field it. O'Brien to turn at first base and then holding there. So Thigpen with his first pitch, O'Brien with his first hit. That'll bring up Joe Orsulak, who was put into the 9th position in the batting order on the double switch when Mike Maddox came in the game. Orsulak batting for the first time, hitting .286 for the year with 8 home runs, 32 runs batted in. And he takes the first pitch, a called strike. Mets leading by a score of 4-3. Runner at first base, no one out, bottom half of the 7th inning. And this ball grounded in the hole, a base hit. O'Brien the second and holding there. And Thigpen has been reached for 2 consecutive hits. Runners now at first and second with no one out, and Ryan Thompson the batter.
Thigpen trying to get a ground ball, throwing the sinker low and away from Orsulak. You want him to pull the ball, but Joe, an experienced hitter, really diving out over the plate. Look where Dalton's sitting, tailing fastball, and Orsulak diving so much across the plate that he ended up with his left foot on the other side of the plate when he swung the bat. Check it out. Watch his left foot coming right into your living room.
That is not the greatest batting style you've ever seen, but it got a result.
Check it out. Watch his left foot coming right into your living room.
That is not the greatest batting style you've ever seen, but it got a result. A base hit, and the Mets now have the pressure on with Ryan Thompson at the plate. Phillies looking for the sacrifice. Mets leading by 1, 4-3, bottom half of the 7th. Jordan, the first baseman, in about 60 feet away. Thompson squares and bunts the ball foul, and it's strike 1.
If you bunt the ball, you want to bunt it to Ricky Jordan, even though he's in, because he is a very poor thrower. Pretty good fielder with the glove, but he can't throw at all.
Hollins at third base, also in tied about 70 feet away. And that ball almost hits Thompson. Somehow he got out of the way, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Thompson 0 for 3. The right-hander's Larry Anderson throwing in the bullpen, and Joe West is the left-hander. Dave West, the left-hander. He was with the Mets earlier in his career, and there's a bunt. Thigpen had an idea about going to third, changes his mind, picks up the out at first base, throwing to Duncan, covering there, and a successful sacrifice.
What changed Thigpen's mind is the catcher, Darren Dalton. This is a catcher's call. Thigpen should go right to first base, because a catcher will never call third, no, wait, first. You don't do that. That's a botched up play. So Dalton obviously calling first all the way, and that's where Thigpen went. Sacrifice successful.
Now Jeff McKnight, the pinch hitter, batting for Kevin Baez. Infield was in for a play at the plate, and the first pitch to McKnight outside for ball 1. McKnight with 17 pinch hits this year. Hitting .241 for the season, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. That's leading 4-3. Runners at second and third. Big swing and no contact. 1-1 the count.
Wouldn't you walk McKnight here to get the Murray?
It's been done.
Oh, not intentionally. Now with Murray, the most prolific bases loaded hitter perhaps in the history of the game.
Oh, he's got numbers, hasn't he? And the pitch back outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. There is Eddie Murray. 17 career Grand Slam home runs. Second to Willie McCovey in the National League. And third to Lou Gehrig in Major League Baseball history. The 2-1 pitch, outside ball 3, and Thigpen in trouble, 3-1.
Almost 1/6 of Eddie Murray's career RBIs have come with the bases loaded. And here the count 3-1 to McKnight, and Fregosi is going wacko in the dugout.
3 balls, 1 strike. And the ball hit the center field. This will score 1 run. Dykstra in deep center will make the catch. Both runners have tagged up. O'Brien comes in to score. Orsulak goes to third base. And the Mets now lead it by a score of 5-3 in the sac fly by Jeff McKnight.
See, that's the disadvantage of not taking the turn. When the third base coach comes up the line, you as the runner ought to make the turn. Otherwise, you're not going to be in a position to score if the cutoff man bobbles the ball. Joe Orsulak went right to third. Therefore, he wasn't in a position to score once Stocker drops the ball. The cutoff man's going to throw the ball home, but Stocker had dropped the ball. Orsulak did not take the turn, and he had to stay at third base.
Now Eddie Murray will not get his chance, as they are going to walk him intentionally to get to Dave Gallagher, a right-hand batter. And there's ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. Ball 4. So Murray walked intentionally. And Dave Gallagher will be the batter. He is 1 for 2 in the game with a walk and a run scored. Jim Fregosi sweating this one out. The Mets leading by 2 as they bat the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 men out, 2 runners on. Bobby Thigpen coming in the game, giving up 1 run and trying to hold it there. And the first pitch to Gallagher, a called strike. Thigpen made his major league, should say his National League debut against the Mets on August 13th. It was Friday the 13th. He worked 1 inning, a 1-2-3 inning, and then he got the win as the Phillies went on to win that game. This ball hit the right. Moving back is Chamberlain. He's right there, and he makes the catch. That will end the inning, but an insurance run for the Mets on 2 hits. 2 men left, and on our Chevrolet Geo line score at the end of 7, the Mets 5 and the Phillies 3, and we return right after this message.
Appearing a well-equipped Dodge Shadow for around $9,500. A Spirit, America's lowest price 6-passenger car, under $12,200. Or own a Caravan, including air at no extra charge, for under $14,600. Crime and corruption heat up in the boxing ring.
There's a lot of money riding on this bum.
Next time on The Untouchables.
Starts Thursday at 9 on Channel 9.
Well, folks, Fan Appreciation Day is coming up on Sunday, September 26th. All kids 14 and under in attendance will receive a radio. That's all kids 14 and under, a radio courtesy of Tropicana. Plus, tickets will be drawn throughout the game for great prizes like fabulous Virgin Island vacations from Club St. Croix, Caravel, Marriott's Frenchman's Reef, and Continental Airlines. For all ticket sales and schedule information or to charge tickets by phone, call the Mets ticket office at 718-507-TIXX during business hours and allow the Mets, please, to show you their appreciation for your support this season.
And also, fans, on Saturday, September 25th, you can get one of the Mets promotional items that you may have missed this season. It's Fans Choice Night, and everyone attending the 7:10 p.m. game against the Expos can choose from a Mitsubishi cap, Chemical Bank beach towel, or MetLife sports bag. Now it's the top of the 8th, and the Phillies batting trailing by 2. The first pitch by Mike Maddox, ball 1. McKnight now playing shortstop for the Mets, and the pitch back a called strike. So getting back to September 25th, round out your collection of Mets memorabilia on that date while supplies last. Big night on the 25th, and that pitch way outside. For all ticket sales and schedule information or to charge seats by phone, call the Mets ticket office at 718-507-TIXX during business hours. Per ticket charge is applicable. 2-1 the count. And now that pitch, ball 3, 3 balls and 1 strike. Ricky Jordan, who had a 2 to put the Phillies up 2-1, batting for the 4th time. He's 1 for 3. And it's a strike call, 3-2. Jordan followed by Hollins and Dalton, so he is a big man to get out here. Let's have John Franco throwing in the bullpen. That is he. 3-2 pitch, and it's popped up. Playable in right. Gallagher is there. 1 away. So 1 away, and Dave Hollins coming up. Hollins 0 for 3. He was struck out twice by Tanana.
Don Paul, the right-hander, also obtained from the White Sox, up and throwing now for the Phillies.
And the fastball taken high for ball 1. Hollins on the DL with a hand problem earlier this year and came back quickly.
Amazing.
Took him about 2 weeks, and they removed the hook of a hamate bone in his hand, and that's just amazing how he got back so quickly. And that pitch, a strike, and it's 2-1.
There's some guys in baseball that it's an affectionate nickname, and it's 2 words: raw meat. That's what this guy is. He's raw meat right here.
Stole him out of the minor league organization of the San Diego Padres, and that pitch, a ball for ball 3, 3-1. Maddox also came to the Mets from San Diego. And at 3-1, the pitch is fouled into the stand, so it fills out to 3-2. The paid attendance announced today at 18,292. Not quite that many in the stands, as you can see. But a beautiful night for baseball and an outstanding game going with the Mets battling the Phillies. The Phillies need to win. And that pitch high, and they get the tying run to the plate in the form of Darren Dalton.
See if Dallas Green counters with John Franco. Dalton with 99 RBIs, vying to become the first Philly to drive in 100 runs in successive seasons since Johnny Callison did it in 1964. And I think that he's going to yell to Charlie O'Brien to go out and say something. He's going to make another double switch here.
So it looks like it's going to be John Franco, the pitch to the left-hander. And it's going to be Burnitz going out into the outfield. Gallagher will leave the game. The pitcher will go into Gallagher's batting position. He made the last out in the 7th inning. As Dallas Green will make the double switch. So Green making his way to the mound, and while he makes the switch, here's a word from Chemical.
Those who expect more from a credit card must not settle for less. First, eliminate cards charging the highest rates or not offering fixed or variable rate options. Demand worldwide acceptance, 24-hour customer service, and gold card benefits. And insist upon price assurance, purchase protection, extended warranties, and satisfaction guarantee. So what remains? The Grand Elite Visa Gold Card from Chemical Bank. If you possess one, do use it. If not, call 1-800-342-9900 to apply.
Dear Midas, my daughter and I were in Savannah, and the cobblestones were more than our muffler could take. At Midas, your mechanic...
Hi, I'm Jack Willis.
...gave us a free inspection, allowed us a first...
Look at this.
...to look at what was wrong, and did a better than good job. It was a good feeling to have a guarantee following us back to Indiana.
And it was nice to feel we had not been taken.
Sincerely,
Annie and Nicole Weiland.
Now appearing, a well-equipped Dodge Shadow for around $9,500. A Spirit, America's lowest price 6-passenger car, under $12,200. Or own a Caravan, including air at no extra charge, for under $14,600.
John Franco in the ball game now, and John, like a lot of the Mets bullpenners this year, just had a dreadful year. He has lost 3 in a row. He has only 9 saves. The Mets with 19 saves, the lowest in the major leagues. Of course, that would stand to reason since they have the worst record in baseball. Franco is trying to find the touch and rebuild the arm strength that he lost after his operation during the offseason.
His last save was August 30th against Houston. He's lost 3 straight games, 2 of them against the Cubs and 1 against the Astros. Came off the DL on August 26th. Has a fine background record, lifetime earned run average at 2.56, and has converted 84.5% of his save opportunities since 1988. But it has been a tough recovery year for John Franco. He's had 15 save opportunities and he has blown 6 of them. So John Franco brought in to pitch to the left-hand batter Darren Daulton, and Daulton represents the tying run. So Daulton into the batter's box. Against left-hand pitchers, he's hitting .211 this year, and his overall average at .260. And Franco's first pitch is taken high for ball 1. Franco is not as effective against left-hand batters as he is against right. His bread and butter pitch is a screwball type changeup. And that ball ripped to right field. Burnett's off and running, can't get to it. It will be at least a double. Coming to third and holding there is Hollins. And Daulton greets Franco with a double, and now the tying run is at second base with 1 man out, and Milt Thompson is the batter.
Tie ball game, 1-run game. Boa, the third base coach, sends Hollins. That's an easy choice. But when your team is trailing by 2 runs and the batter gets a double, there is no way you take a chance on Hollins getting thrown out at home. Hollins looking at Boa, making the turn and looking toward the right side of the field.
And now the batter will be Milt Thompson. Thompson came into the game and was struck out in his 1 appearance, and a ground ball to the second base side. Kent has it, the throw to first for the out, but a run scores, and now the tying run is at third base as Daulton crosses over to third on the out at first. That run going against the record of Mike Maddox, and it will bring up Wes Chamberlain. Chamberlain 1 for 2.
I guess this takes you back to the time John Franco threw 3 wild pitches in 1 inning about 2 weeks ago. 1 shy of the major league record, and there was a fastball in the dirt right there. Good play by O'Brien.
So the Phillies pulling to within 1 of the Mets as they bat here in the top of the 8th inning. Hollins scoring the run. And now the count 1-0 to Milt Thompson, should say to Wes Chamberlain. The 1-0 pitch is grounded foul, so it's a 1-1 count. Chamberlain started tonight because of the left-hander in the game. Frank Tanana is the starting pitcher. Frank's still on the winning side of this ball game, but narrowly. And the 1-1 pitch is in there. A good fastball that time for a called strike. It's 1-2.
I don't think Chamberlain thought it was a strike because he was looking away. See the look away, and now the ball is actually thrown out of your sight, so he figures it's going to be a ball, but that ball on the corner.
And he comes right back there, and it's called a ball. So that's 2-2. That pitch was close.
That was inside, I thought.
But still close. 2-2. And it's in the dirt. Another good job by O'Brien. He just smothered that perfectly.
Well, that's a great play right there. This is a very difficult play. It's about a 59-foot sinker. The ball actually hits in front of the plate. And O'Brien smothers it in classic fashion. Oh, this is a fine play by O'Brien.
So now it's 3-2 to Chamberlain. The pitch, and it's popped up, and it is playable. Kent making the call. And he makes the catch. So Franco gets out of it after giving up the double to Dalton. And in the inning, 1 run on 1 hit, 1 left at third, and the score at the end of 7.5 innings, the Mets 5, the Phillies 4, and here's a word from Budweiser. Here's your chance to win tickets in the Budweiser World Series sweepstakes. 2 winners in a random drawing will each receive 2 tickets to the first 2 games of the 1993 World Series, plus airfare and hotel accommodations. Send a postcard with your name, age, and phone number to this address. The Budweiser World Series sweepstakes, brought to you by Budweiser, WWOR TV, and the Mets. Budweiser, proud to be your Bud.
Even if you can afford some of life's luxuries, you still need a way to get them home. Which is why the Isuzu Trooper comes with a cavernous amount of cargo space. 90.2 cubic feet to be exact.
850, unknown bid 850. Marsha, sold to the gentleman in the blue blazer.
Plus, it's got a rather large towing capacity. The Isuzu Trooper, practically amazing.
People come in and say, why 5 grades of gasoline? I tell them offering only 3 grades would be like selling suits in small, medium, and large. Some people would get a good fit. Some could use a little tailoring. So if you want to know why we give you all these choices, think about the guy who needs 41 long and picture him wearing a 39 short.
I have a dog. He's a great dog, but he digs. Night and day and night and day, dig, 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 dig. My brother's dog, he's in commercials, makes a fortune. My neighbor's dog, 5 months old, comes on the first whistle. My dog, you whistle, he digs, but who cares?
Exciting ball game here at Shea. The Mets on top 5-4. Bottom of the 8th inning, and it may come as a surprise to you that David West has 67 appearances to lead the Phillies this year. So the former Met will try to hold the Mets scoreless here in the 8th. But to show you the tension that is involved in this game, this last pitch popped up right side, and we're going to show you the animation in the Phillies dugout on contact, in unison, like a symphony orchestra, but a bad tune.
So now we go to the Mets half of the 8th inning. Chico Walker will lead it off. And he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Walker in this game 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Helped build a run in the 2nd inning with a single. And he pops it up to center field. Dykstra in center. And West records his first out. West is 6'6". He was originally signed by the Mets in the 4th round of the June '83 draft. In '88 is with the Mets. He was 1-0 in 2 games, 1 a game start. He won his first major league game against St. Louis, and he won it 14-1. Singled in his first major league at bat off Larry McWilliams and doubled his next at bat. And he comes back with a fastball to Jeff Kent. And it's fouled back out of play. Kemp with a big base hit for the Mets. He singled, drove in 2 runs to put the Mets up. Another run scored on an error by Dykstra, and the Mets got 3 unearned runs in the 6th inning to take the lead by a score of 4-2. He's 1 for 3 in this game with 2 runs batted in. He now has 67 runs batted in for the year. And the 1-1 pitch. Curveball for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. West was traded to Minnesota with Rick Aguilera, Kevin Tapani, and Tim Drummond for Frank Viola. Ground ball in the hole. Tough play for Stocker. The long throw in time. Kent slides in belly first, and that is not recommended. Probably the worst place in the world to slide hit first.
That's right.
The only other place might be home.
Yeah, trying to slide into a catcher. I mean, the opportunity for injury, I guess opportunity is a misstated word. Kent diving into first, but think of all the things that can go wrong. It is just not prudent advice to slide into first base head first.
And Jeremy Burnitz is the batter, batting for the first time. And West misses with his second delivery. 1 ball and 1 strike. Burnitz hitting .236, 10 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Again, the breaking ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th for Philadelphia. It'll be the bottom of their batting order. Kevin Stocker, the 8th place batter, to lead it off, a pinch hitter, and then Dykstra. And ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike for Jeremy Burnitz, hitting .236. And the fastball fouled back out of play. David Tailgater throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. Tailgater won his first game against the Phillies in the major leagues. The 3-2 pitch. And it's looped into right field. Right there is Chamberlain. He makes the play, and the Mets go in order. The score at the end of 8. It is the Mets 5, the Phillies 4, and here's a word from Chemical.
Those who expect more from a credit card must not settle for less. First, eliminate cards charging the highest rates or not offering fixed or variable rate options. Demand worldwide acceptance, 24-hour customer service, and gold card benefits. And insist upon price assurance, purchase protection, extended warranties, and satisfaction guarantee. So what remains? The Grand Elite Visa Gold Card from Chemical Bank. If you possess one, do use it. If not, call 1-800-342-9900 to apply.
Now appearing, a well-equipped Dodge Shadow for around $9,500. A Spirit, America's lowest price 6-passenger car, under $12,200. Or own a Caravan, including air at no extra charge, for under $14,600.
Check this. My impression of the world without Coca-Cola Classic. Bugged, right?
Always, 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 always.
I'm Brenda Black. With a primary night update, Mayor Dinkins has been declared the Democratic primary winner by the AP. For controller, Liz Holtzman is losing to Hevesy, and Mark Green has been declared a winner by AP.
Mets leading 5-4. It's the top of the 9th inning. The Phillies coming up, and Kevin Stocker will be the leadoff batter. On the mound for the Mets, John Franco. In relief of Mike Maddox, who relieved Frank Tanetta. The pitcher record on the winning side of this game is Frank Tanetta. If he can get it, it would be 240 in his major league career. Pitcher record on the losing side, Danny Jackson. As the Phillies come up for their last at bat in the regulation part of this ball game. Mets 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. The Phillies 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. The Mets have 3 unearned runs in this game. Montreal winning their ball game. If the Phillies lose, Montreal will be 4.5 games behind Philadelphia. So it's nervous time on the Philadelphia Philly bench. Apprehension setting in as the Montreal Expos keep putting the pressure on, leading St. Louis by a big margin, and the first pitch to Stocker, a called strike.
You try to relax in a situation like this, but you realize your wheels are spinning backwards while the team that's pursuing is on their way to winning 19 out of their last 21. Remarkable.
And Franco misses with his second delivery. 1 ball and 1 strike. Stocker in this game 1 for 3, a single in the 7th inning. And a good pitch there by Franco. 1-2. Mets led 1-0 after 2. The Phillies led 2-1 after 2.5. The Mets led 4-2 after 6. Phillies cut it to 4-3 with a run in the 7th. The Mets got the run back in the bottom half of the 7th. The Phillies got another run back in the 8th. And it's 5-4 here in the top of the 9th inning. And the foul ball keeps the count at 1-2. Jim Eisenreich is on deck for Philadelphia to bat for the pitcher. Stocker hitting .342 for the year. And he takes for ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Macy's scoreboard, Atlanta winning big over Cincinnati. If they win, they'll be 2 up on the Giants, who play later on. Montreal big over the Cardinals.
And this pitch pulled foul, so the count stays at 2-2.
Colorado beating Houston the first game. They're tied in the second, and there's the other big game. Chicago at San Francisco in about 20 minutes.
Giants have lost 6 in a row. They now trail by 1 game in the loss column. Two and 2 as Franco works to Kevin Stocker. And it's chopped out to third. Walker at third base takes it on the hop. Guns it to first for the out. 1 away. And that'll bring up Jim Eisenreich. Eisenreich, a great year. He was picked up by the Phillies, hitting .336, 7 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Against left-hand pitching, he's hitting .314. And he takes the first pitch, ball 1. After Eisenreich, it's Lenny Dykstra. A good fastball there by Franco. 1 ball and 1 strike. There is Lenny Dykstra, the on-deck batter. Good off-speed pitch, and the count 1-2. Franco throwing some of those vintage pitches that made him such an outstanding relief pitcher. His problem has really been location and arm strength after the operation. He was on the DL for the first time in his career last year. Toronto and Detroit 5-5 on our Toyota scoreboard. Tough play for Murray, but he keeps it right there and he gets the out. Murray on a very tough hop keeps it right there in front of him where he can pick it up and step on the bag, and now the Phillies are down to their last out.
This type of play is called smother and step. Tough in-between hop for Eddie Murray. He has had his problems defensively all year, but this is, to his credit, a good play. Eisenreich trying to go inside the line, runs into Murray. Everybody's all right.
Nothing that Eisenreich could do. Murray right in his way. And now it's Lenny Dykstra to keep the Phillies' hopes alive. He's 2 for 4 in this game, and he takes the first pitch for ball 1. Dykstra having an MVP type year for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's got to be one of the candidates.
Absolutely.
Now the 1-0 pitch, and he takes for ball 2. He leads the National League in walks. He has 117. And it will be his job to get on base here to keep it alive as they're down to their last out. Mets leading 5-4. And he takes again. It's called a strike. He didn't like that call. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Jim Fregosi livid in the dugout, and now Harry Wendelstedt just tossed him. They were complaining that the 2-0 pitch was high. Everybody in the dugout, as a matter of fact, complaining. You can see Fregosi saying, "You're telling me that pitch wasn't too high?"
Well, Fregosi kicked out of the ball game. He'll leave. Got his 2 cents in, or maybe even more, but not enough to pay for the fine. As the count is 2 balls and 1 strike, and Jim isn't going to go. And it's popped up. It should be playable. McKnight, the shortstop, and the Philadelphia Phillies lose a tough ball game to the New York Mets. John Franco gets a save, his 10th save of the year. Frank Tanetta gets his 240th win. And the losing pitcher in the game was Danny Jackson. His record now 12-11. And the Mets have won the 2nd game of the series with the Philadelphia Phillies, with 1 more to go tomorrow. So the final score, it's the Mets 5, the Phillies 4. We'll be back for the wrap right after this word from Amoco.
What's clear? Crystal clear Amoco Ultimate. What isn't? All other premium gasolines. What's clear? Amoco Ultimate is the only premium refined an extra step to remove harmful impurities you as a premium user don't want. What's clear? Why we do it. For a cleaner environment and unsurpassed performance, crystal clear Amoco Ultimate.
I can take your badge right now for initiating an illegal investigation.
I'm trying to solve a murder here!
Hit the water. Feel the pressure. And brace for impact. Because these 2 cops are about to make waves. Bruce Willis, Sarah Jessica Parker. Striking Distance. Rated R. At theaters September 17th.
Soon, you'll hear it. The best long-distance service is about to get even better. It's a breakthrough from AT&T Bell Labs, and it makes AT&T sound quality dramatically superior to any other long-distance company. So much clearer, closer, and more natural. Even 8 out of 10 people who don't have AT&T prefer it. AT&T True Voice, coming in the months ahead, free. Just another part of the iPlan.
Dear Midas customers, nobody has a better choice of guaranteed mufflers to fit your car or your budget. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
Coming up next on Channel 9 News, Campaign 93, the votes are in, the people's choices are heard. They picked candidates to run for mayor, controller, and public advocate. We will have complete live coverage and the latest numbers. Also tonight, another tourist killed in Florida. We hear the chilling call for help and what the governor is doing. And tight security surrounds the trial of the World Trade Center bombing. Thousands of jurors are being questioned. We'll have details coming up next on Channel 9 News. Join us.
Mets win it by a score of 5-4, and it looks like it's going to be a 4.5 game lead for the Philadelphia Phillies, with Montreal winning their ball game big. So a tough loss for the Philadelphia Phillies. Nobody beats the Wiz game summary. Jordan, a 2-run home run to put the Phillies up 2-1, but 2 errors gave the Mets 3 unearned runs, and that gave them the lead in the ball game. They never relinquished that lead and held on to win it 5-4. Kemp with a big 2 RBI single in that 3-run inning that the Mets got the unearned runs. Jackson and McKnight sack fly each, and Franco got his 10th save of the year, and the Mets win it by a score of 5-4.
Knowing all the frustrations that Frank Tanana has gone through all year, lack of support, poor defense behind him, Budweiser's player of the game, Frank Tanana, tonight. Terrific job. So Frank Tanana winning his 7th game of the year.
And a good job by Frank, and we'll be right back after this word from Bud Light.
New York and Bud Light, take one.
Give me a Bud Light, baby. I could use it right now.
B-U-D-Y.
Bud Light.
I eat mozzarella sticks with Bud Light.
Nachos. Love it with them little brown rings.
I eat everything. Can't you tell?
I eat caviar with a Bud Light.
And Mom's meatballs. Yeah!
Bud Light's the best.
Show your colors with the Mets MasterCard from Chemical Bank. If you have one, use it. If not, call 1-800-233-METS to apply.
American Express is about to mail card applications to a very select group, and they asked if I would help. Sure, I said, I'd love to help people avoid paying high interest, but I can't do it alone. Coochie, it's your job to lick, stack, and sort. That's good. Yeah, now you use the floor, I'll use the desk. No teeth marks. These aren't going out to just anybody. Hey, that's my banana.
Check your mail for an application, and to apply for the card, send it in today.
Don't worry, Coochie and I will be working overtime to make sure every application gets out. That one's on its way.
So when Grandpa retired, he took a trip around the world. He sent me this costume from Austria. And my sister got this from Japan. Yes, Miss Othma, the trip was expensive, but Grandpa has a MetLife annuity. Yes, a MetLife annuity is tax-deferred, and your income can be guaranteed for life. Oh, yeah, he sent my dog something, too. Get Met, it pays.
The Mets deliver a crushing blow to the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Phillies will probably end the night 4.5 in front of the Montreal Expos with their magic number remaining at 14. Mets Baseball 93 has been brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Midas, who asked you to stop in for an undercar inspection. It's the Midas way, the way it should be. By the new Dodge. See your local Dodge dealer today. By MetLife. Get Met. It pays. By Macy's. We're a part of your life. By Chemical. Expect more from us. And by Coca-Cola. Always Coca-Cola and the Mets. This evening, some of our guests will receive from Konica the iBoard camera. Konica also features the big mini zoom with built-in 35mm wide angle to 70mm close-up telephoto zoom lens. Plus, Konica's color print film, the right film for the right shot. Fans, be with us again on Friday night at 7:30 when the Mets take on David Justice and the Atlanta Braves. Mets Baseball 93 is produced and directed by Jeff Mitchell. Associate producer Steve Olbaum. Our associate director John Calabrese. The announcers on the preceding telecast, that's us, were approved and contracted for by Sterling Doubleday Enterprises. Executive producer, as always, Rick Miner. This has been a presentation of WWOR TV, Channel 9 Sports. For Ralph Kiner, I'm Tim McCarver. Good evening, everybody.